Optimus save some of his strength on the way back. Let me take that load, Optimus.
You're a true friend, Huffer.
Hello, Bots and Books fans, this is Scorp1701, and tonight we are going to start taking a look at the third part of the War for Cybertron trilogy, the Kingdom figures. And first up, we have one of the classic G1 figures, Huffer. I thought it only fitting that we start with Huffer because there is so much Huffer news going around today with Fans Toys releasing their rig figure just recently. So it's about time the little guy got some due respect. Yeah. Alright. Taking a look at the box, you can see it's a very nice box, has a nice window here. You can see Huffer in there. You can see his name, Huffer, with some Cybertronese, Takara Tomy, Transformers Generations, Transformers, Hasbro 8+, Transformers Kingdom, War for Cybertron Trilogy logo. You can see Huffer in his truck mode here. Turning to the side, you can see him in his robot mode there. He is a deluxe class figure, and he is standing in front of a smoking volcano, and you can see the arc up here, and that is really neat for the box artwork. And coming to this side of the box, you see the new series artwork with Megatron / Galvatron and a lot of Decepticons, and looks like Maximals and Predacons in the background there. You have Optimus and Optimus Primal, Cheetor, Bumblebee, Tigertron, and RC, Rat Trap, and some others. I don't know all of them. I wasn't a real big Beast fan, but that is pretty cool. On the top of the box, you have a nice Autobot symbol, Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy, War for Cybertron K16, which means he's the 16th figure in the line. On the bottom, you have some credits for the box and a barcode. And finally, coming to the back, you can see some awesome product shots. You can see him in robot mode, truck mode. He transforms within 14 steps. Maybe. We'll see what it takes when we get there. More credits for the box, Hasbro, and that is pretty much it for the box. But no one wants to see Huffer in the box. I know I don't. So let's get him out and see what he can do. And here we have Huffer out of the box. And out of the box, he stands just over 4.5 inches tall. He comes with a laser rifle. He comes with an awesome shield. He comes with a nice set of instructions that will help us flip him from a robot to a truck and from a truck to a robot. Definitely need to look into those. And he comes with a neat little card, and this particular one is Optimus Prime, and it is all glittery. I like that a lot. So always love the Optimus Prime, so it's all cool. On the back, you just have the Kingdom logos. It has Kingdom, Hasbro, a lot of cool stuff there. But if you kind of peel off the side here, you can turn it off and you can see another picture of Optimus Prime, and that is so cool. Very holographic. I like it. I thought that well, I have heard that when you peel this off, you see them in their alternate mode, but I guess not. So that is really cool. I like that. Definitely going to keep that sticker around. All right, that is it for that. Now let's take a look at Huffer himself. And coming real close in on Huffer, you can see he looks exactly like Huffer's supposed to look like. For a mini bot, he's basically all blue, got some orange and some silver arms. But for a little more detail, taking a look at his head, it's nice and blue. His helmet takes up most of the head. He does have some eyes poking out of there, which are kind of done in a nice metallic blue and then kind of shiny. I always thought that Huffer was designed to look like he was supposed to be wearing glasses. He was kind of like a little nerdy fella, but you know, I don't know how much that could come through when you're dealing with robots. Has a nice silver face and coming down to a nice blue chest. Beautiful Autobot symbol here with some lighter bluish grays paint here going around. Then you come with a silver midsection here right above the pelvis, which is blue, and another silver here. And coming down to some nice gray legs, just plastic, no paint there. And coming down to some orange plastic for the feet. Got some tires on the side, those are neat. And the arms are basically painted silver, and you got them coming down to some black hands. I really like that. And he, yeah, looks like a G1 Huffer. Coming around to the side, you just got some pegs here that you could plug some stuff into, probably as weapons. Mostly orange. I like the blue for the cab. We'll get into that during transformation. And coming to the back, let's zoom out just a little bit because, you know, it is close and you can't really see the entirety of the figure. You got pretty much what you expect to see. Big backpack, which is, you know, kind of makes up the front of his cab, but that's okay. And yeah, that is pretty much what your Huffer is going to look like. Moving on. And for articulation, starting at the head, the best way to move the head, and it does move, is to move the top of the cab here back a little bit. Sort of like when we saw Slag the other day. It's kind of boxed in, but it is accessible if you move the box back a little bit. All right, so when you get to the head, you can turn it around 360 degrees. That is good motion there. You have a slight look up and a slight look down. Again, it's really not there. I think it's just because it's on the hinge. There's not a lot you could do with this head other than, you know, standard left and right look. All right, coming down to the shoulders. Shoulders are on a hinge, and they can come up, and they can go down, and then they can go around 360 degrees. Now the top of the cab, again, will get in the way, but because they cut out this part right here, it will help you to move the arm. And after that, the arm does have a bicep and kind of a forearm rotation, which will give you 360 degrees. And that will get you to your elbow joint, which brings it up. Not exactly 90 degrees, but almost 90 degrees. All right, that will bring you down to your hand. The hand only comes in and out, and that's based on transformation. It can't go around, and there's no rotation in it. So that's kind of a bummer, but I can understand it's a solid piece. All right, that will bring us to the chest section. And if you look on the chest section, you do kind of have an hinge right here, which can give you an ab crunch if you're so inclined. It does kind of break the sculpt, but I think it works if you want to have him sitting down or laying down or getting up or something like that. So there's some playability with that. Again, it might just be for transformation, but you can cheat and use it as an ab crunch. All right. And that will bring us down to the waist, and the waist is 360 degrees rotation. That is good. Bring us down to some feet or some legs. Legs can go up a long way, and they can go back even further because you don't have this front part of the belt section to hinder it, so it can go back a long way, so that is good. It can go out to the side a little bit, and you do have a 360 degree thigh swivel, so that is good. And that will bring you down to the knees, and the knee bend is kind of just this hinge kind of right here, and it's really, I mean, if you want to call it a knee bend, it does act as one. You can get 90 degrees and even further than 90 degrees, so that is a lot of articulation for a knee bend, but it's basically just a transformation hinge, but that's okay. We will use it. Then coming down to the toes can only rock to the inside. That is it. There's no right, no left. It doesn't go up or down. You do have the back heel part, which kind of comes around, but I wouldn't count that as any type of actual figure articulation. All right, and that is going to be your articulation for Huffer. Moving on. And for comparison, here you have Huff with Earthrise Optimus Prime, Earthrise Trailbreaker, Earthrise Prowl, and Netflix Bumblebee. And you have a variety of different deluxe figures, like Trailbreaker's Deluxe, Prowl is Deluxe, Bumblebee is Deluxe, and Huffer is Deluxe. And you can see that there is a very big size difference between them all, but they're still in the same category. So what does Deluxe really mean? I have no idea. It has nothing to do with height anymore. All right, moving on. And full transformation. And as a disclaimer, I don't always go by the way the instructions do it, but we will get where we need to get by the end of the segment. All right, what I like to start off with is move the top of the truck up a little bit so we can move his head around and facing the back so we can avoid any unsightly head issues in vehicle mode. Then we're going to move his arms backwards. So these are going to become his smokestacks, so they need to be standing straight up. And what we'll do is we will bring them down here from the shoulder kind of to the midsection. They will hinge down like that. and on the other side as well. Okay. From here, we will bring down the chest section like so, and that will reveal the wheels. Now, in order to get the wheels out, they have to come straight out to the side. So make sure your smokestacks are up enough so where you have enough clearance or your tire won't come out. Okay, so you have to have enough room for the tire. All right, smokestack up, and then the tire will just slide out to the left on this side, and then we will close this back up like such. All right, now let's straighten up these smokestacks, and you'll see two tabs. There will be a tab up here, and then most importantly, there will be a tab on the side of Huffer's waist right here, if you can see that. And that will have to tab in, because if you don't get that tabbed in, the front wheels won't move properly. So if you see on the smokestack, there is a hole here. Don't know if you can see that, but there is a hole right here, and that's going to be needed to tab into that waist section right there. So it may take some doing and some finagling, but that will need to be done. Okay, we'll get this in there. There, tab. And the side, and we'll tab in on the other side, and you'll know you do it correctly if the wheels roll freely roll, but they're not here, so we're gonna have to do it. We are not there yet, so bring it out a little more. Okay, here to snap there, and snap there. Wheels are free flowing. That is good. All right, so then up here you can tab. As you can see here, it's almost done. Tab that in there, and on this side, same thing. You may have to adjust your smokestack a little bit, but it should have a spot where it tabs in properly. All right, and then the wheel, the back, the legs are fairly simple. Just you can put them together if you'd like, and then move your heels back around like such, and then just fold them up like such, and then connect them at the end, and that's almost done. Okay, so we got everything pieced together, squished together. The last thing you want to do is move these hands onto the inside of the truck like such, and that is gonna be Huffer in his truck mode. Let me get him straightened out a little bit more, and we'll take a quick look at him. And that brings us to Huffer in his truck mode. And taking a closer look at his truck mode, you can see it's a nice orange truck, and he has got a lot of little details in him. First off, we'll start at the front. Has some nice blue translucent plastic for the windshield that is very pretty. Some nice silver picked out the cab lights at the top. A little bit of black painted there. Got some windshield wipers, interesting detail, and some lights all picked out in silver, 2 sets, some grills, the bumper, very good paint details there. I like that. On the side, you got a little bit of a side mirror there. The bumper goes all the way through to the other side. Got some more translucent blue plastic. Tires, they are just plastic, black, and a little bit of gray there in the middle, and some black. I got some silver for the smokestacks, and crawling through, so some orange plastic here for the back of the truck. Some plastic tires again, same tires as up here. And on the back, you can see some more smokestacks. Obviously, you got the hands sticking out there. Can't do anything about that. The detail on the back here is really nice because you got that like metal plate, diamond plating. It's supposed to be, but it's just molded in there in gray plastic. So, but it's still, the detail is very nice, and you got some rivets here, so that is cool. And you got some tail lights molded in and painted, picked out here in the back, so that is good. And that is pretty much it for what your truck mode looks like. Nothing really on the bottom except for mostly robot junk, so don't want to really look under there. So anyway, that is what Huffer looks like in his truck mode. And for articulation, he does roll really nicely. And again, if you're having trouble with these front wheels, remember the smokestack here has to be tabbed in here at the waist. So if it's not, and your wheel is not moving, that's the reason why. Okay? All right. So, moving on. And for comparison, here you have them in their vehicle mode. So right off, we'll bring out Huffer and how he looks with Prime. Again, he's going to be a little smaller, but you know, he's still kind of got that truck sense. And then you're going to have Trailbreaker, which is a little smaller than Prime, but almost the same height here, so that's cool. Then you'll bring in Prowl, and Prowl's going to be a lot smaller, but seeing what Huffer looks like that size, so that's pretty cool. And then finally you got old Bumblebee here, and that's a little car, and I think that's good scaling, so that is cool. That is going to be your comparisons, but yes, I'm going to do it because this would not be complete without doing it. And so we will bring out the trailer for Optimus, and he will be sitting right here, and there it is. And then Huffer will come up and he'll say his great line, "Let me carry that load for you, Optimus." And you know, Optimus Prime will say, "Ah, you're a true friend, Huffer." And then Huffer will go, and because he does have these holes, you can put the trailer in the back and in the top and kind of off to the side. But really, what you really want to do is either pick one of these bottoms. I think the second one here would be the best, and you know, he can carry Optimus's trailer, and that is the best gimmick ever. Woohoo! Roll out. And for accessories, he comes with this nice laser rifle. It's painted in dark grayish gunmetal. It's basically made out of orange plastic. You see the tab there. And it actually is very nicely detailed. You got a lot of good molded detail in there. And if you're interested, you can actually break it apart because it comes into two parts. So you could actually have two guns if you're so inclined, but they're not very sturdy. You can put them both in his hand like he's double welding, but if you move them slightly, they'll just fall out because the tabs aren't strong enough to stay in there. But you can kind of manipulate them, but for the most part you want to have it one gunned, and he holds that really well. And there are multiple places that you can port these into him if you want to get different looks. You can put them on his shoulders or his forearms. You can put them on his leg, kind of like a holster. You can actually store it on the back of him if you're so inclined and you don't want him to hold it. But for the most part, I kind of want him to hold his gun because, you know, he's supposed to. All right. And for his next accessory, he has this neat little shield of sorts. It's basically kind of like it could be actually used as a battle claw or a hook or something like that, but you have your little tabs here and they pour into the side of his arm, and he can hold it as a shield. And you know, I don't know, I never liked the idea of using shields. It wasn't one of my favorite gimmicks, so I won't use it. But there is also a little thing that you can do if you take the gun and the shield for vehicle mode. If you basically break the gun back apart and you put it into these little tabs here on the side, you can make a kind of a battle bunker for his truck. It kind of goes onto the back and it makes his truck look sort of like a dump truck maybe, but it gives you a little bit of armor on the back. I don't know, it's not something I'm going to utilize, but it's something new and different. And if you like maybe how that looks, hey, it's up to you. It's your toy. You can design it and put it any way you want. Okay? And that is pretty much it for his accessories. Moving on. And this has been the Transformers War for Cybertron Trilogy Kingdom Huffer. And I really love Huffer here. He was a must-have for me. He was one of the original G1 Autobots, appeared in the first season of the show, and he may have been little, but he had a great big heart. He's one of the characters that's kind of there, and you're always going to remember him for that one line that we've already done twice in the review here. This is a lot better than the last Huffer that they gave us, which was really, really bad, and kind of looked like Huffer, but it really wasn't Huffer. That being said, about this figure, he was great. He had a lot of good articulation to him. The paint is really, really nicely done. I thought the transform was very simple and intuitive, and he comes with a gun, and he comes with a little claw shield, and that's really all he needed. Actually, he didn't even need the claw shield. And somewhere down the line, we'll do his repaint mold buddy pipes, but that's pretty much it for this guy. Do recommend picking him up, especially if you're a G1 purist. You can find him on the store shelves. He ranges from about $20 to $25 depending on where you find him. Should be out now at your local retailers, and if you're looking for him, happy hunting. So that's the review, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and until next time, keep playing.
Another day, another adventure.